Hello there, all you wonderful people out there. This is Ben the Bold, and we are playing our Hannibal at the Gates campaign. We are the nation of Carthage, and we are just working our way through these mission trees, taking our time, enjoying the scenery here in Iberia. We are fighting a new war with Iberia, or in Iberia rather, not with Iberia. Oh no, we have some barbarians. Well, we have an army. That is hopefully going to take care of that. Uh-oh, Bomilcar is going to be very displeased if he is not given an office. Well, let's see, he's a party leader. Ooh. So we definitely want him to be pleased. Let's take a look at maybe what we can give him. He's not great at anything, but he's the leader of the civic faction. He has lots and lots of prominence, so giving him a prestigious job really won't help him that much. Let's see, what kind of job could we give Bomilcar? I do want to give him a job because as the leader of the civic faction, he may actually be my ruler soon. No, he's not. Actually, I think he just was our ruler. That's actually probably why I didn't have a job now. Well, you know what? I think I might just tell him to wait. He's getting kind of old. He's getting kind of up there in years. I think I'm just going to tell him to wait a little bit longer. And, well, if he dies, he dies. That's fine. I'm going to keep on keeping on with our war in Iberia. Might as well just move those 26,000 men towards this fort. In fact, I might even think about automating some of these armies, just letting them fight the war for me. As this war is won, let's go ahead and see just what I could get if I were to sue for peace now. Remember, this is really the territory I'm most interested in. However, I'm all for grabbing as much as I can get. We are going to beat those barbarians, of course. And let's see, should I go ahead and do this? That'll give me 18 aggressive expansion. I am down here at 8 aggressive expansion now. So you know what? I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and full annex Tartesia. That is going to mean that I get this little event. We'll go ahead and lose some of the aggressive expansion. And there we go. Now we should be able to hit securing Baetica. Now what's this going to do? Well, it's going to convert up to 3 pops in all those different places to our culture, which I guess is good. And it's going to allow us to keep working down these trees. So we could get restoring Tartesians. Oh no, we need one more province. Where is that? We have to have Ergia. Where's Ergia? Oh, right here. Well, you know, we're always looking for war with you. We'll go ahead and fabricate a claim. What's Ergia in? Alright, Baetica Hispanialis. Perfect. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and grab a new omen. I think I'm just going to keep going with national commerce income. It just tends to work well for me. Let's go ahead and move our troops back to maybe some of these cities down here. You can go to Saxy. And you can come to the city of Quart. And we'll go ahead and unpause the game. Alright, so we've won a war. We are continuing to work down our missions. We have almost all of the control of the southern region of Iberia. We should maybe think about consolidating a little bit more territory in Italy. Maybe not. I wouldn't mind just like letting my missions just kind of run. I've intentionally not taken these territories in Sardinia as well as these territories in Sicily and Magna Graecia because, well, one, I'm letting Rome get a little bit stronger, and two, I'm trying to see if I just follow the missions to the T, what will happen. I don't think I'm going to go with this. So I still need to grab these territories. If I just went ahead and declared war, I'd be going to war without... Alright, so I'm not breaking a truce, which means I'm just going to go ahead and fabricate a claim. We'll just have another big war here in Iberia. I think I'm going to go ahead and build another army down here in Iberia. Let's do it right here in Urki. Also, speaking of Urki, let's take a look. I think I'm going to build some temples in Urki. Or, not temples, theaters. Sorry. The one that converts culture, not religion. And now I'm going to come and recruit some cohorts. Hey, we have a new ruler. We should check out what that ruler is going to do. He is a member of the religious faction. I'm all for that stronger omen power, and it looks like the next man in charge is going to be from the mercantile faction, which, you know me, I'm all about that commerce income at this point. I'm making 52 ducats per month on commerce. Wow, I'm losing a lot of money. I'm not too concerned about it, but I wonder why. Oh. I bet I know why. Because the religious faction's in charge now, which means I'm no longer getting a boost to my... Who was in charge before? The mercantile faction? Which means I'm no longer getting a boost to commerce income. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my fleet maintenance down to nil. I'm also going to go ahead, and I know it's a little bit risky with the pirates, but let's go ahead and just move our fleet back to Carthage. I'm sure they'll be fine. And if I just stop some armies from drilling, which I kind of hate to do that because I'm loving that sweet, sweet military experience gain, but I'll go ahead and just stop a couple armies from drilling, and that should put me back in the green. Yep, just barely, but I'm there. Although, I am building a new army, which, you know, is going to cost me some moolah. These pirates are nice and annoying as well. Just for now, I'm going to accept all these food trade routes, even if it does cause me to kind of go starving in some territories. The big thing is I need the money right now. Ooh, the neglected. Utterly tired of waiting for his promised role in the government, Bomilcar Barkham has been quietly whispering in the ear of one of our closest confidants. Philosopher Ugurid has been wooed by the venomous words, and now both these traitorous curs are speaking rumors of our lack of integrity. We should have acted sooner. Okay, so they're both just going to lose 15 loyalty. I mean, that's not great. Now Bomilcar's going to be my rival. Well, now I'm just going to remove him from as my rival, and there we go. No one's any wiser. I'll tell you what, our aggressive expansion change when it's so high does... When our aggressive expansion is so high, the aggressive expansion decay is really, really nice down at that 0.32 reduced per month. Excellent, excellent. I'm going to go ahead and just keep accepting these trade routes just because, well, I need that kind of... I need the cash. This could be a good way to get a member of the Hannibal family on us in power, although actually I'm going to go with the Bedona family. That's going to make them a little happier, plus it's not putting anyone in the populist faction as a general. After all, generals raise in prominence fairly quickly. I mean, they get just an added plus 30 for being a general, and then because they're a general, they get 0.2 every month, which is pretty good. And again, I don't want... Well, it's not that I don't want prominent members of the populist faction, it's just that I want the members of the populist faction who are prominent to be the ones that have low charisma scores. So, for instance, if we sort by faction, we come down all the way to the populist faction. Here we go. So now I want this guy. Ooh, I want him to be very prominent because I want him to be the next populist faction leader. Why do I want him to be the next populist faction leader? Because, well, if he's the next populist faction leader with a charisma score of only 1 instead of this guy's charisma score of 7, then the populist faction will only be getting 0.2 Senate influence. And actually it'll be getting 0.15 Senate influence because it'll be modified by the electoral model. Of course, that's assuming I have good stability, which currently I don't. But, so I do want that guy to be a general here after all, although I can't put him there quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and finish out making this army, recruiting some hoplites. I want 5 of them, and let's do 5 light infantry, and then 1 supply wagon. So just a nice 15 stack with the supply wagon. So I guess that's a 16 stack. And then you don't have a supply wagon. Let's go ahead and just give you a supply wagon as well. trying to see if there's maybe a better place to put that other hand-headed man in the populist faction. I think I might actually just create a new army to give to him. We'll start out by just creating one archer unit, and then we'll make him a general of that. That'll raise his prominence. Uh-oh, we have a disloyal province. Well, I think we can fix that real quick by... Ooh, do I want to dismiss this guy? I'm going to dismiss him and give this army to the region. And now this province ain't going to be disloyal very soon. Ooh, actually it's not changing its loyalty any. So I'm going to build more onto this army, and then as the cohorts come in, we'll start to see that province loyalty change. Once we get up to a decent level, I'll go ahead and remove both these armies from this province, and we will be good to go. I could also look at import routes, see if anything there increases province loyalty, but no, I'm not super worried about that. Instead, I'm going to come back to Carthage, and I'm actually going to hit the install provincial procurators. Let's go ahead and make these pops a little bit more efficient. And I'm actually going to build a foundry, even though I know I could probably get away with building a aqueduct at this point. Look at all my armies coming together. How are my claims doing? So I could go ahead and declare war, but man, look at that defensive alliance they have. Okay, don't necessarily know if I'm wanting to compete with that quite yet. Let's come up here. You're still in that defensive alliance. So are you. Alright, so they really have united against me here. I could probably take them on. But that's going to be a lot of troops coming at me. We need a new researcher. Let's go ahead and find someone pretty decent with a decent oratory skill. You also have great statesmanship, so I'm actually not sure if I would like to put you as a researcher. Instead, you would be better somewhere else. Or we could put this man... is he the... No, so he's got good charisma, so I don't want him in charge. This guy's just named Hannibal. I love it. He's just a minor character, I guess that's why. His charisma is also pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to put this man in charge. That'll build up some statesmanship with him. And let's see, is there anyone here? Yeah, I might actually put this guy, Yadamilk, as my new Shepot. That's going to push Senate influence towards the mercantile faction, which I'm all for, and he's just going to be a little bit more efficient. So let's, well, he will eventually be more efficient, but and this defensive alliance really has united to try to take me down. That's alright. We could probably actually win. I'm just not keen on fighting all of those territories all at once. Plus, that would give me a long truce with each one of them. Although, who are you at war with right now? Troubling developments. Recently, we have seen that our High Priest, Himilco, as well as those under his charge, have been doing a disastrous job. Well, great job, Himilco. It seems people having issues with them keep reporting back to us how difficult they are to work with. When talking to the man, he claims it is simply a matter of bureaucracy being difficult. Well, I don't want to spend the gold, so he's going to gain... I'm going to lose... My character, Canme, is going to lose to corruption. He's going to lose 20 loyalty. Well, he's very loyal. I'm sure his loyalty is actually growing. It is, so... Ah, well, I just didn't want to lose all the money. You know what? It might go ahead. I might go ahead and conquer Sardinia. It's just kind of that time, you know? let's go ahead and just put this army of 35,000. Oops, almost. We have a granary fire. It's come to our attention that one of our main grain stores in the province of Zaba was engulfed in flames. Well, we could say that it's an important strategic issue, spend a bunch of money, but we still lose 266 food. Or we could have it, that province, no, that governor of Numidia, he would lose 10 loyalty. He's currently down at 54. That's not amazing. He's probably losing loyalty per month, right? Yeah, he is. It's because of the Scorned family. Well, where is Numidia? I am just going to do this, and then I'm going to come down to Numidia, and I think I'm actually just going to remove him from office, and instead place another candidate on the on just one with a little bit better loyalty. And then we are going to have to find some job for a candidate to do. You're the head of the Giscoid family, Bunadid family. Sorry, I'm just going through and seeing if any of my governors could be switched out with a member of a prominent family. It doesn't appear so. So instead, I think, let's actually come down here. These 10,000 men, I think I can go ahead and detach them from the region. Let's give them to this man. He's a Hannibal, which is something we want. It'll make that family more loyal. I'm also a-okay with him rising in prominence because, and in fact, I'd be happy if he became much more popular because, well, I just want him to be the leader of the populist faction. I don't actually necessarily want him to be the leader of our country. So we'll put him in charge. I'm okay with him gaining prominence because, again, if he becomes the leader of the populist faction, well, then the populist faction, I'm not going to have to worry about them for a while. And I would love to not have to worry about the populists for at least a little while. Currently, I don't have to worry about him. It looks like the mercantile faction is pretty firmly in control here. Go ahead. We do have one disloyal character. Yeah, he's just going to be disloyal. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and destroy the Court of Law. It'll just give me 10 gold. Instead, and then in its place, I'm going to build... Let's do some libraries. And, you know what? Why not also an academy? Alright. I'm just going to kind of let this army do what it wants. I'm going to put it in independent operations. And as soon as this war gets going, I'm just going to let it win the war for me. I'm not necessarily going to worry about microing it too much. After all, I have plenty of manpower. Instead, I am much more worried about Iberia. And I want to keep a close eye on this defensive league. Can I subvert the defensive league? Maybe head up the Portuguese coast a little bit? Yeah, so you're not in that defensive league. Yeah. Pirates. Pirates everywhere. Well, I guess if there's nothing else, I might as well go ahead and continue my conquest of the Iberian coastline. Ooh, we have several major deaths. Ooh, and including the leader of the populist faction. And he is replaced by someone who honestly is a little bit better for me because he is very low prominence, fairly low popularity, and he is, well, not great as far as his charisma goes. He's likely the next co-suffate, though. He is also the general of the 13th Army. Let's find the 13th Army. Well, are those the same people? Balathan Hamadin? and then I'll come here. No, those aren't the same. Those are different people. Oh, he's the brother of the... Okay, whoops. He's the brother of the general of the 13th Army. That's my mistake. You know what? I'm actually just going to take those freemen. I'm going to look at my province map mode real quick. Let's see how... Well, first of all, actually, let's go to our culture map mode. So we are doing well to convert a lot of North Africa. What about religion? Religion, we're looking good as well. So let's go to province map mode. So we're still just converting a bunch of religion and culture. But like here, in this province, we are mostly there with religion, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and change that to cultural assimilation. Let's also look in the major cities here. Well, we don't really have a major city here, do we? Oh, here's a city. But it's... So I'll just build a mine while I'm thinking about it. We have a new governor to be... Let's just place this man in charge. He seems great. Also, local citizen output plus 10% if he's a governor. Yeah, great. Good job, dude. You have risen high in the ranks. We're have almost finished our justification for war against these Sardinian countries. I might go ahead and just move these 10,000 troops over as well, just to be a fast-acting army. We're getting a call to arms from Iberia. So where are you? So you're this country, and you're being invaded by Termoniga? So a bunch of these little countries out to the side of them. If I decline, I'll lose that alliance, but... Oh well. I don't really want to get bogged down in a war in northern Iberia right now. Especially when I have a war in Sardinia that is about to kick off. The Gizgoid family is scorned again. I will need to find a suitable position for one of their family members. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and move my quick response army to Sardinia. See what the effects of declaring war will be. It's actually going to give me seats in the military faction, just hurt my loyalty with the populace. I only have 2 seats in the military faction right now. Or no, I have 5 seats in the military faction right now. So, they will go from 5 to 10. I mean, I'm doubling the size of the military faction. Sure, I'll do it. It's going to cost me some tyranny, but doing pretty well with tyranny as well. Didn't even notice that I didn't have a general here. Let's see. Who could I put in charge? Maybe someone from the Gizgoid family? Ooh, I'm not sure if I want to go all the way down here and get a 2 or a 1 marshal general. So instead, let's just go ahead and put this guy back in charge. He's very prominent, and I'm just gonna, for now, just put him on independent. Nope. I'm just gonna have him go and attack that fort. He's also going to win that fight. The leader of the military faction offers us support. We should probably... It says we should not underestimate the importance of their support in matters of state. I'll go ahead and do it. Why not? Hey, looks like Athens wants to trade some vegetables with us. Sure, I'll give them some money. We're making a ton of money. All for that. We are going to get that easy stack wipe. I think we're actually going to get here before they are, because, yeah, cavalry's just so fast. One of their cohorts is even a supply unit. We're going to easily take them out. And there we've established a beachhead in northern Sardinia. And we are going to continue trying to reclaim some of the land that their forts automatically took. Now, they are building up a storm, but I just don't think that they can build enough troops to really come anywhere close to challenging me. Plus, they only have 9,000 troops, or 8,000 troops now in the bank to really work with, because after all, they're building as many people as possible. Alright, now let's go try to find a Gizgoid character. Let's do this guy. It's not going to help me at all, but it's all about keeping the families happy, right? You have new trade routes. Or actually, I think maybe a trade route was just closed. I'm just going to grab this local Freeman happiness. It's from myself, but I'll go ahead and take it. And let's... install provincial procurators. Let's just make this place so efficient. Looks like the Romans are at war. I wonder what they've... Are the Romans meddling in Iberia again? That's the real question. Yes, they are. Hardcore. Okay, so they're fighting these little places. So, I mean, if we can't continue our conquest of Iberia and kind of quickly, we may find ourselves at war with the Romans just for support in Iberia. This is definitely a war that I think I want to be in. It's going to bring in Turdania, Tartesia, but again, I'm not scared of any of those countries, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. Let's try to grab some territory from Iberia while we have the chance. I wish it would disrupt the, kind of greater power imbalance here, though. Yeah, their forts are easily gonna... I wasn't necessarily prepared to go to war with all three of these little countries. However, I'm all for it, but they are going to take some early gains, as I don't have any forts here to protect my territory. And, I mean, they do have 14,000 men. I am much more worried about taking their capital, though. I'll go ahead and bring these 20,000 men. Just, well, actually, I'm going to have them hold off at that port. Wait for reinforcements from the east. They are coming. We are going to capture that territory in Sardinia. I'm going to go ahead and move those 10,000 troops in towards the Valerian capital. Once that falls, well, we'll have another fort to take. But either way, both of these wars so far looking to go look like they're going well. Go in. I mean, if they want to try to capture some of my territory, I can do the same to them. I don't want to recruit the mercenary. That was a misclick. Go ahead and move these 16,000 troops into the fray as well. We have taken their capital. That was quick. Let's go ahead and just immediately try to siege down this city as well. It's not even fully garrisoned. There's only 900 troops there. Although, give it 1 month, yeah, so they're going to be able to fill it up before we get there because it's December 30th. The influence of the Bedona family. Ooh, we could invite someone else into the family. You know what? Sure. Is that going to get rid of the... No, now the Hannadids are upset with us. Well, it sounds like we need a new governor. And maybe I can put a Hannibal in charge, although I don't necessarily want to put you in charge. Alright, you, my man, are a new governor, and you're gonna, well, help the happiness. The happiness is good. Or you could be a new, yeah, I'm just gonna make you the governor. Although I clicked on his picture instead of his name, so. Alright, now he's the governor, and the Hannibals should be happy with us. Our armies are pouring in. Let's go ahead. And our armies should be vastly superior to theirs. I'm not worried about losing any of these fights. Although, right here, they have a very good general. They're going to be taking up the defensive. Let's take a look at what they have. So they have 3 heavy cavalry. Oh, they have 5 supply wagons. Alright, so I love the addition, pretty much everything that the Livy update brought to the game. I am a huge fan of the supply wagon. I'm a huge fan of the army food mechanic. I think it adds, a little something extra. Even if I do have some trouble with it sometime, check out my other playthrough that I'm doing right now, my Restless Germanians, where my armies are really struggling to deal with supply because we don't actually have any territory. Yeah, that's right. We went full migratory tribe, so we have 0 territory. We're just going through and burning everything. You should definitely check that video out. Or that series out. But one thing that I have noticed is that sometimes the AI builds just an absolute crazy amount of supply wagons, and that's great if they're going to be going on like really long campaigns, but like honestly I feel like unless I just have a massive army with like lots of elephants, like I don't see any reason why you do more than 1, and even if you did have a massive army, like just do 2. Whereas this army of 16,000 has 5. I don't know if they were just planning on really going out there in the war, but they have 5 supply wagons. They are ready to march all the way to Carthage if they need to. However, I think we're going to really be able to annihilate them because 5 of their units. So really, this isn't an army of 16,000. This is an army of 11,000. You know what I mean? But we can take a guess at what their tactics will be. So we are in bottleneck. That's not necessarily our most efficient. I'm going to guess that they are trying to emphasize probably the heavy cavalry, since that's what they have most of. Although I forget what heavy cavalry. I think it's shock action. So let's try to find something that's good against shock action, which is bottleneck. The bottleneck isn't necessarily our most efficient thing. Alright, I'm going to try it. I'm going to stay in bottleneck. And we'll see if I guessed correctly. I'm thinking they're going to be in shock action, and they were in deception. Ah, well. They deceived me. Neither one of us gets a tactics advantage. We do have the morale advantage. We also just have better troops. And look at their numbers just absolutely fall to the wayside. Most of those were those supply wagons. They just got destroyed. Like that, right off the bat. We're victorious. Yeah, that was a slaughter. Let's go ahead and continue on. I think... Well... Actually, I'm going to try to take this territory before they finish building this fort. Raising a host. Alright, it looks like this guy, he's a general. He's been using his own personal funds to raise a larger army. Well, let's take a look. He's very loyal. I'm not going to worry about it too much. He's also... How old is he? He's fairly old, so he won't live forever. And I don't really want to lose loyalty with him. So I'm just going to say it's okay. He's going to pay for those troops after all, so it's fine. We do have a lack of food with this army. Well, that's because they don't have any supply wagons, which is good. That's what I wanted. But I'm going to have them... Oh, are they stuck? They're stuck. Alright, so here's the thing. This army is almost out of food because I just let it sit here in Cornus for a long time, and my province capital's been taken. And this army is out of food, and it's losing troops. And now it's fighting... excuse me. It's fighting a defensive battle. We'll see if it can win this, but I'm ready to just pull these guys off. Yeah, the light cavalry spam is victorious. In fact, we barely lost any troops. Excellent. We're going to gain that territory back, but alas, we are still stuck here. So I want to go ahead and let's just retreat them for now. We can take them to Corsica or something. Yeah, we'll just have you go and land in Corsica. Regroup with your food supplies. Let's keep doing national commerce income. I'm making good money, but I want to continue making good money. And in the meantime, these forts are all beginning to fall. And I don't see... Well, there's one of their armies. Alright, well, it looks like we may actually just take the loss here. It's just 10,000 men. Yeah. Alright, so that was on me. I probably should have had another army to reinforce them. We're going to take the loss, but as soon as we can retreat, we're going to. We also have a bad tactic, so as soon as we can retreat... There we go. Let's get out of here while we still have some manpower. We're just going to retreat down to kind of Gibraltar. All these other forts are going to progress nicely. I don't think that 15 stack can challenge any other army we have in the field. Honestly, maybe they could do work against this, that 30 stack, because it's all light infantry. In fact, it was kind of designed to be a sieging, like an assaulting force with 30,000 light infantry, but I don't really know if that's necessary at this point. And then in the meantime, these 28,000 men with their great general, they're just going to continue sieging down a bunch of provinces really, really quickly. As your food store is looking not great, so we're not fighting a stalemate here in Corsica. It's just, and let's go ahead and move. When I'm at peace, I'll want to move the capital to where it's protected by a fort. You can see the great Roman ferry works, ferrying troops back and forth, back and forth. They're gaining food per month, but I mean, just not a ton. Ooh, we have a new national ruler. I didn't even think to look at the election screen. But that means we need a new Rafet. And who is scorned? The Bonadid family. Let's find a Bonadid. Yeah, I don't really want to put you in charge. Any other Bonadids? Yeah, sure. Let's do you. You are not great at your job, but it's just helping the health of my... So, like, the Rothet increases the health of my Suffet, but, like, am I that worried about the health of my Suffet? Because I'm just going to get a new one in a couple years, right? Now, I could look to extend terms and such, maybe later on down the line, to make the health of my Suffet a little bit more useful. But I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, let's go ahead and just accept some trade offers. No, or accept one trade offer. So the war in Sardinia, it's not at a stalemate. I just have to wait and let my army regroup and just kind of restock its food supplies, which, again, I like having to have to do that. It is it's a feature that I'm loving in the Livy update of the game. It's just, you know, I'm not saying so I was about to say it's an annoyance, but, like, it's an annoyance that I like, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because it's an annoyance that makes me think. And it's an annoyance that, like, is a little bit more realistic because, you know, truth be told, you didn't have just armies marching all the way across the continent without any repercussions. And they had to worry about things like food and supplies, and I wish that they gave you, like... I wish there was some benefit if you connected your conquests to your territory. So, for instance, I don't... Like, say that there weren't border forts here, and I was just able to come and directly come and attack this capital city, or this province capital. And I wish I took, like, more food penalties or more food attrition if I just marched straight there instead of solidifying a line of, like, basically a supply line, like capturing a territory on the way there. I wish, like, maybe I ate more food if I didn't have if I did not have uninterrupted, like, borders with my own country. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I'm still getting over a little cold. Yeah, a little out of it. I hope I'm making sense with what I'm saying, but I think that would be a cool feature. All right, let's before I go, because we've been going for about 40 minutes, I do want to grab a new invention. I'm thinking right to be heard right now. Maybe convince me otherwise. Yeah, don't convince me otherwise. I'm gonna go with right to be heard. I have a right to be heard. You have a right to be heard too. Hey, hit it up in the comments if you think I should have gone with something else. But we're gonna do that, and I am unfortunately gonna have to call it quits here for the day. I hope you're enjoying the series. This is our Hannibal at the Gates campaign. We are slowly using the, well, just the wrecking ball that is Carthage's army to try to take over Iberia. It is a long and prolonged fight, but, well, I wouldn't have it any other way. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, hit up that like button. Hey, if you want to keep watching videos that I make, hit that subscribe button, and I will check you on the next one.